course, it's Devin Thompson. Get ready for Tyron Woodley coming up, UFC 209. Man, what a hell of a fight the last time around.
It was rough, boy. It was
I
rough,
mean,
especially that fourth round.
yeah, right? So obviously, because of the draw, you have to make a couple of adjustments this camp.
Yeah.
What have you made? What kind of adjustments have you made?
To be honest with you, I'm walking around at a heavier weight. I was walking around about 182. Tyron's a big 170.
Yeah.
He walks around about 205. I think I've heard him say he's walked around heavier than that. I was walking around about 182, and when I rehydrated, I only got back up to 178 before I even stepped out in the octagon. I was just way too small, and I could feel that in those clinch positions, especially when he took me down. He caught I threw a lazy kick in the first round. He ended up catching and taking me down, and I could just feel it. Whenever he clamped down on me, I was like, golly. I knew I was going to have to kind of weather the storm on that first round, because it was going to be very difficult for me to get up from that. So walking around at a heavier weight and not being so hesitant. I don't know if you saw from my previous fights.
Yeah.
I just go out there and have fun, and I wasn't feeling that for some reason this last fight. Very hesitant. I knew he had a big right hand. I don't know if it was because of the takedown or I don't know what it was. I don't like to make excuses, but I knew I wasn't throwing the techniques that I normally do. It wasn't switching sides, wasn't throwing the kicks, and just going out there and just doing my thing. That's what I need to do. Just let it all out.
So you were smaller, but mentally you're saying that you were hesitant. So
Yes.
is that going to help you coming through to the second fight? Obviously you're not going to be as hesitant, and you'll be a little bit bigger. But it came down to really who established in my mind, because I'm at home watching it. I'm not in the cage with you getting punched in the face, so I'm making an analysis from the outside. I'm drinking a beer while you're getting kicked. It seemed like it was whoever established their game plan in the beginning of that round won that round. So it was almost like whoever got off and says, this is my round, well, I'm going to establish what I want to do, and then you would end up winning the round. But you're saying it's because it was size and that you really didn't want to throw stuff. Or was there a little bit of, okay, Tyron got off on me in the fourth round, and I just kind of had to weather the storm. He got off on me in the first round, and I had to kind of weather the storm.
That's a little bit of kind of what was? Yeah, it's kind of was how. To be honest, now that you brought that up, that was kind of like the feel probably out there, like you said. He ended up catching me in the fourth round, and in the fourth round, I was just flat, man. I saw the punch coming, but I just took it to the face. And you can't take that from Tyron, as big and as strong as powerful that guy is with his right hand. But when you see him fight, he doesn't make a whole lot of changes in his game, So I expect him to be maybe a little bit more aggressive, look for the takedown, because I know when he looked back watching the fight, he was successful when he got me down. He was bigger and stronger, but been really working on my ground game, working on getting back up to my feet, and not being lazy with my kicks. I threw a lazy kick in the first round when he hit me. I tried to aim for his leg just to see where his hand would go, if he would drop it. And then the second kick was going to go to the head. But I threw it too lazy, caught it, ended up taking me down. But he's not the type of guy to actually shoot for the legs, I haven't seen him his past few fights. I know he tried it with Rory. Rory popped right back up. He tried to do that, I think, in the fourth or fifth round. But it was kind of like, I'm looking for the legs. It's not there. It's kind of flailing his arms out there looking for something. And but I think that's what it was. The person who got off early in that round, you had to kind of recover from that. And it was weird because after the fourth round, I felt like I could go another 3 rounds. I felt great in the fifth. It felt amazing in the fifth. I should have been like that from the get-go, and I wasn't.
Did you have a bad time warming up in the background? Did you have a bad time? Because it seemed like first round, you said lazy kick, but like I said, I'm at home on the couch.
Right.
It looked like, he's not ready to go yet. Like he's thinking this is a 5-round fight. I'm gonna back off on my warm up in the back because I've got to keep my energy levels up. Is that what was going on too a little bit?
You know what? It was because I'm sitting there in the back watching, of course, my brother-in-law Chris Weidman fight, and had my mind on different things, man. I had my mind on that, and if Chris is okay. I know he was bleeding a lot, and to be honest with you, now that I look back, I could have warmed up probably a little bit better than I did, and that's on me. And definitely going to go into this fight a different Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, different mindset, man. I feel great. Like I don't know if it's just because, you have bad days in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
You go out there and you school your partners, but just that one day they smoke you. You just feel weird. I don't know if it was just I had one of those days out there. I'm not sure. But I know it wasn't the Stephen Thompson that most people see when they saw me in the Johny Hendricks, when they saw me in the Rory McDonald and the Jake Ellenberg. That wasn't me. I didn't feel right. It was weird.
And so, obviously, this last weekend, Johny Hendricks had some success, up 85, not cutting as much weight, looked good. If you had to now, make an analysis of his performance, how do you think he's going to do at 185 now?
You know what? To see what he did to Hector Lombard, I mean, he went out there with full confidence, and it's got to be the weight cut. I don't know. I mean, he's just a lazy guy. Just don't like cutting the weight. I mean, I know he's kind of got big shoulders, but I don't know what it was. If he had that same mindset at 170, I think he would have done great. He would have still been at the top of the game. But for some reason, maybe moving that switch up, just getting a change, maybe gave him that extra confidence going into the fight. I thought he looked great, man. Just defending the takedown really well, throwing the knees. Whenever he would go in for the leg, throwing the uppercut, what kept Hector Lombard kind of guessing and not wanting to stay there for too long. But he was moving, man. He was moving. It looked like a 170 at 185. He was moving great.
Yeah, I thought so too. I agree with you totally. Now, I got to ask about the elephant in the room. GSP's back. He's calling out, he's saying, his coaches, not him himself, his coaches saying, yeah, Michael Bisping would be great. It'd be a great fight for Mike and I to fight the title, or Conor McGregor and I would be great. But he's not calling out the winner of you and Tyron. He's not really going, hey, the weight class I'm known for, I'm not going to challenge there yet. And everyone knows my opinion. I've said if he comes back now, he's not in the top 5. He doesn't. The game has evolved, and he has been out, so he didn't get to evolve with it. Will he be there soon? I don't know. Like a couple fights, he could be back in that shape again. What do you think about GSP coming back? And if you beat Tyron, will you welcome him back to the welterweight division with a title shot?
You know what? Hats off to him, man. Good to see him back out there and doing his thing. And I know he's been out almost 4 years.
Yeah.
But he's a lifelong martial artist. He's always training. But like you said, the game has changed. It's not that wrestling, because you have a lot of wrestlers out there, but even they've evolved. It was more of a striking, more of a stand-up thing now. And I think the judges are looking at that more too than just the wrestling. I mean, if you went back and watched Johny Hendricks when he fought Neil Magny, I thought he won. I thought Hendricks won with the takedowns, the control, but Magny ended up winning with the strikes. And but my hat's off to him. I hope he does well. I would not like to fight him just because he was my inspiration to switch to kickboxing to mixed martial arts. And I've got a better relationship than I did with him than I did with Rory. Which was one of the reasons why it was okay. I was fine with fighting Rory. I didn't want to, but I was fine fighting Rory. And but you know what? You never know what it brings. If he says I want to fight Stephen Thompson, well then we'll do it. He's been at the top of the game. He's deserved it. And to make that call. But I'm not going to sit out there and say, you know what, I want to fight GSP.
Gotcha. Okay, so March 5th, you won your fight March 4th. You wake up in the morning, the UFC goes, hey, your next fight's going to be GSP. Are you going to hold on a second, I got to talk to my dad real quick and talk to my brother and my brother-in-law first before I make a decision? Or are you going to be like, okay, all right, you guys are asking for it, then we have to make it happen?
You know what? I would probably go back and talk with the team. I've got a great relationship with Faraz Zahavi and George. So I would probably make a phone call to see what was going on. If the UFC has even talked to them about it, because how that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
So I would probably talk to them, see where they're at, and see if that's something they really want to do. If so, we'll do it. We know it's business and we're good friends, but I would definitely give them a call first.
And that's the difference between an athlete and an entertainer. You're coming at it from an athletic standpoint. We're like, look, I got to keep getting wins. I've got to make sure everything's dialed in the right section. Somebody calls me for GSP. We're friends. Like, we hang out, so I got to double check to make sure this is what we both want before I say yes. If I'm the champion carrying the belt, but also too, an entertainer is 100% going to go, yes, okay, it's GSP, yes. Conor McGregor, yes, right. It's a fight, yes. It's like, well, yeah, I get it's a big payday, it gets a lot of money, but friendships are long after the athletic careers are done. Like, long after you're done scrapping them gloves on, man, you got to be able to look him in the eye and say, we had a great fight. Win, lose, or draw. We had a great fight. We did it at the right time, and this is how it works. So I really like that mindset, about you. You're not scared to say it publicly. Like, a lot of people
not at all. not at all. You know, a lot of these guys are going at it, you know, for that entertainer, you know, aspect, that entertaining side. But I do it for the honor and the glory. You know, the money's just a bonus.
Yeah.
And yes, I want to be the best fighter. That's you know, as a martial artist, I've been doing this since I was 3 years old and been competing for a very long time. But I do it for the honor and the glory, and the money's just not a big thing right now. You know, for me.
Yeah.
I mean, the money's great, but
Yeah.
to be honest with you, I think friendships are more important. And I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for George.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for him, going up there, training with him, and the next thing you know, I'm learning the jiu-jitsu and the wrestling just to be a better sparring partner for him. And he's made me a better martial artist going up there training with him.
Yeah.
And that was my inspiration to, you know, to switch. So I would definitely give them a call. I mean, get heads up first.
And that's a respectful, true martial artist way to go about it. That's how martial artists do. It's not any more of this come to my dojo and challenge me because I'm the best in the world. It's like, hey, so do you want to meet sometime in August? Maybe do you want to hang out sometime in October for a couple minutes? Like, do you want to kind of? And that's how it's done. Like, you know, it's like guys have a conversation, and then the fans get the benefit of seeing it. But if it doesn't happen, it's because the two guys didn't want it to happen. That's how it should be.
Yes, sir. I agree.
So I've had a conversation with a lot of different old fighters, my age fighters, guys that have since retired, and then a lot of the newer guys. We're kind of this conversation about what crosses the line when you're trying to talk up a fight. I've always said I keep it with the opponent, and I keep their families out of it as much as possible. I pick on them. I don't do the other. But you don't seem to really talk too much, even at the opponent. You're just kind of, I got to fight March 4th. That's just kind of what that.
You know what? That's how I've always been. And I never get emotional. I never make it emotional. I never make it personal. I know it's a sport. A lot of guys feel like they have to, or they have to do the Conor McGregor type, you know, crap talk. And I'm just the other side saying, you know, not everybody has to do that in order to get a fight or be an exciting fighter, you know, or to be popular. You don't need that. And plus, I've got 600 kids back home watching every move I make.
Yeah.
You know, and I want to be that positive influence for them inside and outside the octagon. You know.
Unfortunately for you, you've got a very exciting style. So talking about GSP was winning all the time, but his style wasn't very exciting. How he was winning, because the way the sport was at the time, he kept getting W's, and people loved him, even though it wasn't super exciting, just because he had to make sure he got the wins. You're getting the wins with exciting kicks, with exciting punches, and then, of course, that draw with Tyron the last time you guys were out was amazingly exciting. People are still talking about the fight, and we're having a hard time trying to pick who's going to win, because we've seen one. It's not hypothetical anymore. We've seen one. There's one in the bag, like, oh, yeah, it's a draw. So now what? The hypothetical is completely lost, because the first time you guys fought was a draw. Now it's going to be different. So it is a tough fight you got ahead of you. But, man, are we as fans so happy that this fight came together again. And it wasn't.
Well, I appreciate it, man. You know what? I had fun out there the first time. We're going to go out there and do it again, you know. I've been training hard. My mindset's right. You know, I'm very positive. And, man, I'm itching the best to go out there and do it, man. So I've got a different attitude going at this one. And I just feel great, man. I feel like, you know, this is going to be it.
Last question before I let you out of here, because I know you've got to eat. You just got done training, and I don't want to keep your brother waiting too long, because he gets violent, especially when he's not eating. Tyron's come out and said they haven't really been promoting him. Like he's a great champion. He's a superstar. They can make a lot of money off him if they push him a little harder. But it also was in the middle of the change of ownership, you know. So it's like it's kind of tough to try to push somebody when you're not really sure what you have yet. Do you feel like the UFC is kind of failing in promoting the champ, which in turn means they're failing to promote the weight class?
Well, you know what? I think the UFC could probably do a little bit more, but like you said, they're in that process of switching ownership, you know, brand new owners. So there's a lot of things going on, some in and outs with some of the people that are working with UFC, you know, old people coming out, new people coming in. So I know their mindset's somewhere else, but to be honest with you, I don't know. Has he been champion long enough to even see a difference? Yeah. You know what I mean? He had a great fight with Lawler. Yeah. His immediate fight was us, and we tied. You know what I mean? I'm seeing more of him than I'm seeing more of myself, and that's just me looking at it. I think, to be honest with you, there are other champions out there who aren't getting jacked. I mean, did you watch the Ronda Rousey and Nunes fight? You didn't. That was my next.
Yeah, that was my next comment. Like, they really failed on that one. But let's not forget, though, if you're fighting GSP, if you're fighting Conor McGregor, if you're fighting Anderson Silva, even at where he's at right now, you're going to be secondary. You're the afterthought. That's just how it works. And Ronda is the first thought, especially when it comes to women. She is the golden goose, and now not so golden, just because the way Amanda beat her. But I think they failed, and that's why I raised the question. I think they failed that weight class.
Yeah, I agree with you. But you also got to be the fighter that that you can be, so that way they want to promote you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anderson Silva, Conor McGregor, these high level guys, they work their butts off to get where they are.
Yeah.
They're exciting. They talk, but they can back it up. So be that person. You know what I mean? And in the beginning, there was a lot of things talking about him riding on people's coattails. Don't ride on anybody's coattails, man. Be the fighter that the fans want to see, that the UFC want you to be, and then everything else will come. I believe. So.
I'm from the same mindset, man. That's how it works, man. As long as you're winning and you're doing it in a respectful manner, that it'll come. Does it come faster for the big heel? Does it come faster with the guy with the bigger mouth? Yeah, but it's also shorter lived. So that once they slip one time, they're kicking you all the way down the ladder. Like there's no like, oh, we can't wait to see this guy fight again. Like, nope, we're gonna stomp right on his head and push him all the way back down again to the bottom. And that's just how the heel is played. So
it's crazy because after that fight with Tyron, just the crazy feedback and the more fans I got after that fight, all they talked about was that fourth round. Of course, I don't want that to happen ever again.
Right.
But just for me, if you're a respectful guy and be true to yourself and your fans, and they'll always be there for you. Of course, you get the guys who talk crap on social media all the time, and I know Tyron gets that, and I get that, and I just ignore it. But yeah, man, just go out there and do your thing, and everything else will come. Be true to yourself. So that's how I was taught, and that's what I try and do.
Man, thanks so much for coming on here. I don't want to keep any longer. I know you got to eat, so I appreciate it, especially if it's late in the day, man. It was awesome. Thanks so much. Good luck, man. Have fun. It's going to be a great fight. Have fun. I'm going to be at home having an absolute – I actually might be there because this one's in Vegas, so I might slide myself in there. But it is going to be such an awesome time to watch this fight happen. I can't wait for it to come down.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Hopefully we can talk after the fight as well.
You know what? I want to get your permission, win, lose, or draw. I want to sit down and talk to you again. Game plan was this. This is what worked. This is what didn't work. And this is the same whether you win or lose, that some things work and some things don't, even if you get the victory. It's just like – but I want to try to get a breakdown on it from your perspective, how the fight was supposed to go and how it ended up.
Yes, and I'll be glad to do that. That'll be awesome.
Perfect. Love it.
Hey,
all right, brother.
Have a great night.
You too, man. We'll talk again soon.
All right, brother. Bye-bye.